Boom. It's been a while since I sat in this chair and dropped a video, but I'm here, so let's go.
Nah you. Heart so cold, we change the tempo of the room. These fakes we grow, we bloom in this fast car, we blow, we zoom, now shift.
The young Q&A, my first ever Q&A. Boy, this should be fun. 1. Where are all the girls with the mad bodies, sir? Bring that entertainment to IG stories. Oi, the man them really want to start on smoke today, okay? But long story short, I was in Miami, isn't it? Now I'm in Winfield, Kansas, which is slap bang the middle of America, in the middle of basically close to nowhere. And that really explains it all. Kansas simply does not have the facilities to host what I was once doing in Miami. But on a more serious note, Kansas don't have the badinas like that, and even if they did have the badinas like that, they don't have the facilities for the badinas to do what the badinas were doing when I was in MIA.
MCM fam, this is your girls doing TikTok rehearsals.
For me, Instagram is a semi-professional platform. You feel me? So the madness that I have on Snapchat, I can't really bring that to the IG. But if you want to see the madness, then you have to add me on Snapchat. Kobicoker. The name don't change, it's everywhere. How different do you think life would have been if you stayed in the UK? The truth is, only God knows that answer. So believe it or not, I had 2 chances to stay in the UK. Obviously, the first ever time I came out here, imagine I just didn't come. What would my life be like? I would have gone to University of Bournemouth to study like sports coaching and development science, something that I think that was what the degree was called. I would have graduated or been graduating by now. And the truth is, God knows, innit? My plan was, if I went there, I would somehow do work with Bournemouth Football Club and work my way up as a coach there. But that didn't happen. My second chance to stay in the UK was during my gap year, innit? And when it was coming up to the end of my gap year, I had quite a lot of options, isn't it? And I still decided to come back out here. And I think if I didn't come back out here, I don't know, knowing me, I would have been fine, innit? I would have just gone on with life as per. I was involved with a lot of interesting things with a lot of really good people. So what that would have turned into, I don't know. But the truth is, I don't know. Anything could have happened. Would I have been richer if I stayed in Ent? 100%. Would I be as happy? Only God knows. Probably not, because I would have had the regret of not going back lurking in my head, you feel me? There's endless options, bruv. Corona hit. Imagine Corona hit when I was back in the Ends. Who knows? I could have been in lockdown for this. You lot been in lockdown for almost over a year now, innit? And so, the truth is, only God knows. Are the chicks from the US better than UK? The man, them really aren't, they're really not holding back, fair enough. All right, I'm going to be dead serious. I've got a video on this dropping very soon, innit? But if I'm going to sum it up quickly, I think in America, the diversity is greater than in the UK. 2, American girls are far more to the point. Especially if you're from London, girls play too many games, they play too much. But American girls get to the point. And thirdly, man, I'm one of these guys, I don't subscribe to the idea of this place has better looking girls than the other. I think every place got badinas. You just have to find them, you just have to know where they are. Don't matter where you are in the world, there's paying girls everywhere, innit? The question is, have you got access to them, and have you got the source to draw them? How have you adapted to life there, and does challenge of being so far away from friends affect your mental health and performances on the field or training? That's a big question, and I feel like I didn't read that in proper English, but we move. Okay, so I'm going to answer this question in 2 parts. When I look at general life, adapting for me wasn't very hard, if I'm going to keep it real. If you know me, I know I'm quite easygoing, I'm very chilled. I like to think I'm very, very adaptable. So adapting to overall life for me wasn't hard. Secondly, I moved from England to America. You couldn't find 2 more culturally similar countries. Well, let me word that differently. I think if you're going to move from England to another country, America must be the easiest country, even probably as easier than like Wales or Scotland. Of course we have our differences, but I don't think the differences are huge. So adapting for life was very, very easy for me. It's not like I was moving to like Germany where I have to learn a new language in terms of football and training. Overall, yes. In my first year here, there was a period where there's like maybe about 2, 3, maybe even a month period there where I was going through something mentally, innit? And it wasn't due to being homesick, it was more of a football thing. And that really, really plays on your mind. I've never said it in public like that, but I'll say it now. I actually think there was a period in my first year, for not long, but there was a period where I thought I was genuinely depressed, like, or I was in the gutter. I'll say it that way. My mind was in the gutter, and you can really feel that when you train and when you play. You feel me? There's no confidence in yourself. You feel like you can't do anything. You feel like you can barely function. Everything you seem to do on the pitch is just wrong. Like, no pass is accurate, no touch is clean. You feel like everything. I remember just everything can go wrong. For me, that was just more of a footballing thing. But then when I saw other people that were around, I saw how being homesick can affect you. When you're homesick, good thing about me is I enjoyed life. Football I was struggling with, but when you're homesick, your whole life just different. It's just not the same, innit? Adapting has its challenges, and when you're on the pitch, if your mind's not in the right place, or if things aren't going completely well, that can definitely be a factor. I don't even know if I answered this question that well, but how do you feel your game has improved since you've been in the States? If I'm being real, every facet of my game has improved, obviously. But if I have to make it more specifically, I'll say one, relatively, I'm way, way, way fitter than before. And I think fitness, people don't realize how important fitness is. The fitter you are, obviously, the longer you can last on the pitch. So the better you are physically and mentally, that's going to translate into the game. You just be able to last longer, you be able to sustain your best for longer, and it just makes you an overall more consistent player. And I think consistency is the most important thing in football. The fitter you are, the more consistent you can be week in, week out, and the more consistent you can be throughout the game. And everyone loves consistency, if we're just being real. I think the second part more I've improved is up here, not in terms of intelligence, but just more of awareness. I remember hearing a quote from I was listening to a podcast one time. Good players know what they're good at, you feel me? And good players put themselves in positions where they hide their weaknesses. One of my other coaches always used to say, Kobe, hide your weaknesses. I think one thing, especially this year, what I've got really good at is just doing what I do well. And what I don't do well, hiding it and not exposing myself. Growing up, I never played at a high standard or with high people until much later on, you feel me? So I just played football freely. And the truth is, when you're playing in such a competitive space like this, it's not about playing. Sometimes it's not about playing freely unless you're that good. Sometimes it's about doing your job. And when you know what you're good at, you can just do your job and be effective in that. So I think those are the two ways I've improved. My fitness has improved and I've become more aware of my game, and as a result, I'm just a much better player, aka Mr. No Nonsense. You dig? I swear you're booed up. The man them are really trying to incriminate me with some of these questions. In the wise words of my guy Pope, I cannot confirm nor deny that. But I know my babes ain't watching this, so we move. And in the rare case that she actually watches this, shout out you babes. Mimi. What is the main difference in football between the UK and States? I can't lie, I've got a video on this already, so I'm not really going to dwell on this too long. I'm going to summarize it in 2 points. One, the American game is far more athletic, whereas the game in England is a bit more deliberate and a bit more technical, you feel me? Secondly, the American game is softer. Referees are softer, they call more fouls, they don't let as much slide, and referees here got a bit more of an ego trip, but then I guess it's just the result of playing at a high level. Would you say there are more opportunities in America than the UK? Okay, that's a big question, and I'm going to give my blunt answer and then give an explanation, because I think this is very important, and I've got to make sure if I'm going to give people my opinion, I've got to give a correct opinion and not let just people assume some wild-ish. Overall, yes. Growing up in England, I didn't really know anyone really in the world of sport, specifically football, innit? Obviously, I had teachers, I had advisors, and all of them could tell me bits and parts, but I didn't know anyone that worked professionally in the realm of sports. Now, since I've come to America, I've met a lot of people, or I've met a couple, not a lot, but I've met a couple of people that are into this world of sports like that. But since I've come out here, a lot of my good friends out here are people that work or want to work in professional sports. So again, they're much more knowledgeable of it. I say all of that to say this. In England, I haven't had as much exposure to the professional game as I have out here. So me being out here, I've seen loads and loads, I've heard, I've spoke to, I've gained loads of different insights on different careers within professional sports, or even how you can advance as a player. in professional sports, but I haven't received that in England. So that's part of the reason why I say there's more opportunities out here. It might be the case of I'm just more aware of the opportunities here than the ones in the UK, but I think that's an important thing to recognize, and that's again from my own opinion. In America, the pathway is very, very clear in comparison to the UK. In the UK, if you want to get to the top of the ranks, it's very, very unclear. You have to go professional, and then after you go pro, try to build yourself a career from there. Or if you're not a professional, you most likely have to hope for a bring-in. If you don't get a bring-in, then you're going to be really in the gutter, especially as a black person. We've seen all the reports on black coaches and all of that. You're going to be in the gutter. So from what I've seen in England, there's no clear pathway. All you really know is get your badges. Then once you get your badges, you just got to start grinding and hopefully make your way up, isn't it? It's not clear. Out here, there's a clear pathway. Is you don't make it pro, you can go to college, whatever college you want to go to. Once you graduate from college, you can get an internship with a company, or if you haven't got an internship, you can do what they call a GA, which is where a university will hire you to do your masters, and at the same time you also coach. You also help coach like the team, you feel me, or whatever. There's GA assistants, there's internships, or even grassroots football here pays. Bruv, if you're in England, grassroots football don't play ish, if we're keeping it a buck 100, unless you're lucky enough to build up a reputation where people are willing to pay you that much money. Grassroots football in England really don't pay anything, but grassroots football here, bruv, coaches are earning $10, $12, $20 an hour. Any coaches. You can never do that in England, you feel me? The pathway to success is a lot clearer in America than it is here. So to answer the question, yes, but I do think a big part of that is I have far more exposure in the American game than I do in the UK game. Thank you, and God bless everyone that asked me questions. And if you didn't ask me questions, I'll allow you for now, but next Q&A, you best ask me some effing questions. So you know the call to action. I hate this corny-ish, but it has to be done because otherwise people are just not computing. Like, comment, subscribe, share it, get it out, you know, just trying to share exposure to the world and let the people know when the ends that there's more than one way to go and get it. And I'm going to be living proof. In Jesus' name, amen. Inshallah. Ramadan, is it Ramadan Mubarak? Ramadan Mubarak to all my Muslims out there. I hope you have a great, prosperous, insightful Ramadan, and you all take care of yourselves and you all gain some new insight, and may God bless you lot in it. Peace, love, PVO, bird game.
You guys are doing what you're supposed to be doing. Keep being great.